Welcome to Behind the Music. I'm Chad Harris. Here at Behind the Music, we like to take a deeper look at your favorite bands. Tonight we focus our attention on the Grace High School Youth Praise Band. We hope that we can take a deeper look at their personal lives and the conflicts they have amongst one another. So you, come on with me to Behind the Music.
So for me this year in youth group and just leading the worship, it's one of the most amazing things has not only been, just being up there and leading and praising God, but just being able to make connections with life and just being able to see God work through my life and just make the parallels and stuff, and He's just given me some amazing stories to tell this year and just amazing thoughts and stuff. Oh, there's this one time when we see me and my friends, we were all hanging out, and Ryan and I were really bored, and it was really nice out, so we were like, well, what can we do? We need to go outside, It had finally gotten warm, right after winter. And so we were like, Ryan decided to say, let's go up to the dam and cook some hot dogs for dinner.
It's funny, really, that you guys, that everyone gets to see, Michael and me and Catherine Lloyd and, some other people up on stage singing. And it's so ironic because really, I know everything I know vocally and just, about worship, I learned from Wyatt. There is nothing like his sound. It's truly a spiritual experience listening to him.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
When I hear him sing, I realize I feel like I get a little slice of heaven.
Hallelujah, grace like rain falls down on me.
I go over and I pick him up at his house, and then we go get my friend Tristan, and then we go to the store and we had to get buns and hot dogs and stuff because, we can't go cook hot dogs unless we get buns and hot dogs.
Some people say chemistry is just a subject in school, but it's also a vital ingredient in being a band, just the interaction between the group members and things like that. And for the most part, I feel I have a pretty good chemistry with everyone in the band, except for Holly. It's kind of surprising since the two of us go way back. Look, I've got an old yearbook here, and here's her picture. That's a long time ago there, But we've just never really seemed to hit it off. There's just been something between us, and if you want to know my opinion, I think it's just that she's really jealous of me. She wants to be the whole smart, artsy type, but I'm so much more intelligent than her that it just thwarts her plans. And to compensate for this, it's like she thinks that if she's more holy than me, then everything will be okay. And it really just irritates me. It's just, that's not what worship is about. Worship is about God, not seeing who can be the most holy. Just like when we're sitting around praying before, it starts out Ryan usually opening us up, and then Wyatt throws in his worship metaphor, and then we have Holly. She comes in here, the pitiful girl voice, the deep sigh. Lord, I'm just so overwhelmed by your love. Give me a break. That's so fake. That's so forced. That's not natural. Oh, just because I'm a girl and I can be emotional, that makes me more holy. No, that's ridiculous. Come on, Holly, give me a break.
But so we get out there and we're cooking the hot dogs and having a good time and hanging out, and we'd call all our friends, but when you call people and they don't answer, well, eventually they call you back though, and so eventually people started calling us back, and they were like, hey, what are y'all doing? And we were like, we're at the dam, you want to come? And they were like, well, yeah, why not?
The really sick thing though that you guys don't know at all is Holly Bryce, she is gas worse than any person I've ever met in my life. We'll be sitting there in the middle of practice and she'll just let one go. It's disgusting. Why didn't I get the worst of it? Because we sit right behind her. But really, half the time she blames it on me. She never owns up to it though. It's gross.
Better is one day in your courts than thousands elsewhere.
Holly! Sick.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it. I'm not feeling so good right now.
On our way up, Ryan had seen this Frisbee I'd gotten. It was actually for Christmas I'd gotten the Frisbee because I'm big into Frisbee golf now,
Well, every Sunday night, we're here at practice, and then I'm here, and then there's James. James back here at the mighty drums. And what do you know? Every youth group, there's a song, a slow song, maybe that I start out playing. Last week, for example, I was starting Wonderful Maker. And I'm here playing this beautiful melody of Wonderful Maker, just to kind of get the mood after the talk. And there's James. Doesn't know what's going on. And there's Hop back there motioning to James to stop. But then James starts playing. He ruined my melody. And then everybody else comes in, so it's ruined. And that was it.
We actually even had a fun time of coal tossing. I don't know if y'all have ever tried it, but it's pretty cool. You take the coal and you go ahead and like break it up small enough so it sits in your hand, and you hold it in your hand like this, and you start shaking it up, and you're like, oh yeah.
And Michael Anderson, well, I mean, he's good at guitar and all, and he can sing better than me, but I mean, in between songs, like when he starts telling stories, it's just, he lets it go. Okay, so let me tell you guys a story. This reminds me of this time. Well, there's one of my friends, and he it was one of my friends, and we were at the lake, and you see we were throwing coals. Yeah, we were throwing coals, and that's like Jesus, because Jesus liked fire, and then we were throwing frisbees in the lake, and the kid just ran in. And do you see how that relates to our lives? When we go in the waters of life, well, we get cold sometimes, and that's why we need God. What?
There was like no possible way for us to throw it in the water because we really didn't want to go in. It was like, probably like.
And Ryan, oh well, I mean, he pretty much doesn't listen to Hop ever. Yeah, like she'll be back there, you know, in the soundboard and stuff, and being like, Ryan, you're too loud. Can you turn it down a little bit? They'd be like, sure. Yeah, there's no knob there. You know, he's just like turned down nothing. So that's cool. But the greatest thing about Ryan really is that he's practically the lord of the dance, you know. And you get kind of little sneak peeks of that because he's up there and he's playing and he's chilled out and stuff, you know. But it kind of leaks out slowly, you know, because you kind of see the dance moves starting to leak out, but you can tell he's suppressing it, you know. And you just wonder what is really going through his mind. What does he really want to do up there, you know?
You know, the band always turns me down, and it's probably because they always they're just very insecure about their own playing, so they want to hide the fact that I'm pretty much the best musician in the band.
He's like, all right, guys, I'm going for it, and so he goes, gets waist deep again, and stops, and we're like,
Wyatt, you know, he just wants to play these big flamboyant piano pieces before every piece, and you know, I try to come in because, you know, frankly, some of the keys he hits, I just don't know. I've never heard those keys in my entire life, and they really just don't go with the song at all.
So, I mean, like, what's up with Michael Walker always being, like, in the corner?
I know.
Like, he's, like, always, like, retreating from the light. I'm a child of the dark.
You see, it's
what's up
appropriate
with
though,
that?
because he's like, he doesn't even talk like, I mean, I have Bible study with him,
Yeah,
senior guys.
well, I know.
And he doesn't say a word. I've been in Bible study with him for 4 years. The kid just doesn't talk. He doesn't have anything to him. There's nothing going on in here at all. Like, I'm surprised he's passing his classes. It's
I know.
ridiculous.
Well, you wonder what's going on in his mind, you know, when he's back there and he's like bebopping in the dark, like, and he's singing all these words. And
What did you see him last week? The last youth group. He was so happy. He was so excited. This is the most excited I've ever seen him in his life. I guess because it was the last time he was gonna have to be here. But
well, yeah, I mean, so you really have to like show it just openly. Like the one time he shows excitement about praising the Lord, it's like he's really praising the Lord because he's getting free from us.
well, I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, good riddance, Michael. That's all I can say.
gets out of the water, he's shivering. We're all just like,
So our hope is that you got just a bigger glimpse of the behind the scenes of a true praise band. We hope to see you next time on VH1's Behind the Music.
and we were all just like, man, that took some guts right there. But you know, as I thought about that story, it really applies to my life, as I noticed that I treat God the same way that he treats the Frisbee a lot of times. And that God will set himself right there in front of me. You know, God will set himself, 30 yards out into the water, 30 feet out into the water, whatever, in this place that he wants me to reach, but he doesn't want to make it too easy. He wants me to grow out of it, so he makes it difficult. So God will put